Okay, we have our very own Oakhurst graduate, Kristin Moorhead. She's in 8th grade now at Seminole Middle, and she went 2nd through 5th grade here, one of our favorites, and we're happy to have her back. And we're going to be sure the whole time that we show the Mustang way, respect, responsibility, and honesty, okay? So we're going to give it over to Kristin, and she's going to give you a nice talk.
Hello everyone, my name is Kristin Moorhead, as Ms. Kennedy said, and as she said, I'm an 8th grader now, which means I'm going into high school next year. And it's really scary and nerve-wracking, but also exciting at the same time, because I know that all my friends are going to be there, I'm going to have a good time. For those of you 5th graders out there, you're probably feeling the exact same thing about middle school, right? I graduated from Oakhurst 3 years ago. I had Miss Gabe, Miss Mayer, Miss Crandall, and Miss Foster. I was also in the gifted program. I had Miss Georges, but I think she got married, right? Yeah. In my time here, I experienced no bullying or teasing, which was really quite wonderful for me. And I know that the students at Oakhurst are really proud to follow the Mustang way, right guys? Respect, responsibility, honesty. It's what's been engraved into your brain ever since you got here, right? I'd like to thank Ms. Kennedy for allowing me to come here and talk to you guys today about something that's really very important to me. It's something that makes me who I am. So I'm here today to talk to you guys about Tourette syndrome. Now, how many of you have ever heard of Tourette syndrome? Whether it be from a movie, a TV show, your friends, just raise your hand. Okay, cool. And for those of you who haven't heard of it, it's totally okay. It's not unusual. That's why I'm here to explain it to you guys and raise awareness. Now, Tourette syndrome is a medical condition, which means it's treated by doctors. So can anybody give me an example of another medical condition, like Alzheimer's? Yes. You in the purple shirt. Dementia, yeah, that's a medical condition. You? Asthma. Asthma is a medical condition, right? Yes? It's okay. I forget things all the time too at school. Yeah? Autism, yeah, that's also a medical condition. Well, no matter what our differences is, especially if it's a medical condition, we should never make fun of someone for our differences. Would it ever be okay to make fun of someone for a difference? No. Can somebody give me an example why not? Yeah.
Because it hurts their feelings.
Yeah, it hurts their feelings. Yeah?
Because everybody is different. And just because somebody has a medical condition and that makes them different,
Yeah, everybody's different, so you can't tease them because you're different too. Yeah.
because it could be sad.
Right, it could be sad if you tease them. Alright, now we're on the topic of differences. I'm going to ask you something. Do you notice anything about me that might be different? Yeah. Yeah, I'm wearing glasses. Yes, I'm a girl, but anything else? Yeah. Yeah, I'm twitching. Well, I have a disorder called Tourette syndrome. So here's my diagnosis story. I was 9 years old in the 4th grade here at Oakhurst, just like you guys. Well, some of you anyway. And I was on the gifted math meet team. So I was super excited and nervous and really pumped up because, right guys, math, who's excited about math? Woo, yeah. All right. But about halfway through the competition, I started noticing these things that were happening to me. I was making funny noises and making funny movements and sounds. It was so distracting to the other kids that I actually had to quit halfway through the competition, and my mom had to come pick me up. I actually went to a neurologist that day, which is a fancy brain doctor, in case you didn't know that, and I was diagnosed with Tourette syndrome. Now, people with Tourette syndrome have tics. Now, who's ever heard of a tic? The creepy, crawly bug things that suck out your blood, right? Well, rest assured, I don't have bugs, and neither does anybody in this room that I know of. What I'm talking about is this kind of tick, TIC. The TICK is a bug, and the TIC is something that we're going to talk about today. Now, this is the very scientific definition of tick. And honestly, I don't even understand half the words in here, so just bear with me while I read it. Tick, a sudden, rapid, recurrent stereotyped motor or vocal involvement. Okay, that was a really mouthful, so I'm glad I got that over with. Basically, what it means is a movement or sound that your body makes that it cannot control. Like that. Now, there's two different kinds of tics, motor tics and vocal tics. Motor tics are movements that cannot be controlled, and vocal tics are sounds that cannot be controlled. Now, I want everyone in this room right now to try not to blink. Like right now. Alright, it's kind of easy at first, right? But after a while, it gets harder and harder and harder until all of a sudden you have to blink or you feel like your eyes are going to burn out of your sockets, right? Alright, you can blink now. You can blink now. It's okay. Well, that's kind of like the urge to tick. Everyone has to blink. Everyone has to sneeze, cough, hiccup. It's just part of what we do. So people with Tourette's, that's kind of like what a tick is like. That's the difference between a regular movement and a tick, too. A regular movement you can control, and you have a say in whether or not you can do it. A tick, like when I roll my neck, I can't control that. Alright. There's two different kinds of motor tics and two different kinds of vocal tics, simple and complex. Simple motor tics are any movement that you make that really only requires one muscle group, like eye blinking, grimacing, nose twitching, lip pouting, like I go like this. So that's one of my simple motor tics. Complex motor tics are the big movements that require more than one muscle group, like hopping, clapping, throwing, touching, or holding funny expressions. I know one of mine is facepalm. Yeah, it's kind of funny, you can laugh. Anyway, and I knew a kid at camp who had to do a handstand as one of his tics. That's a really rare case, but it was pretty extreme. There's also simple and complex vocal tics. So simple vocal tics are any sound that you make, like whistling, coughing, sniffling, grunting, barking, screeching. I know I clear my throat like that. So that's one of my tics. And then complex vocal tics are blurting out words or phrases that are meaningful, like, I've got it, oh boy, now you've seen it. Any word or phrase can be a tic, including swear words. Although, that is called coprolalia, which is basically where you have to blurt out swear words as a tic. I don't have that, and only about 7% of the entire Tourette syndrome population actually has coprolalia, which means blurting out swear words. So out of everyone in the world who has Tourette syndrome, 7% have coprolalia, which I know a lot of people think that Tourette syndrome is just the cursing disease. First of all, it's not a disease, it's a disorder. And second of all, only about 7% of them have coprolalia. So, yeah. Alright, who wants to hear some fun facts about Tourette syndrome? Ooh, I know I like fun facts. Okay. Well, symptoms usually occur between the ages of 5 and 7. Now, that's not a be-all and end-all, symptoms have to occur between the ages of 5 and 7. No, they always occur before the age of 18, but they can occur anytime between 0 and 18. I know I exhibited symptoms when I was about 7 years old, but I wasn't officially diagnosed until I was 9. You must have at least 2 vocal and motor tics that last at least 1 year in order to be officially diagnosed with Tourette syndrome by a doctor. And it's 3 times more likely in males than females, which means that 3 times as many boys get it as girls get it. And we're not really sure why that is, but I know for the ladies out there, at my Tourette's camp, every summer I go to a Tourette's camp. It's really fun to go to the dance and see all the boys there, but anyway. Anyway. And ticks wax and wane, which means they change over time. And they get like more intense and less intense. Sorry. So like the ticks that I have today might not be the ticks that I have tomorrow, and I could wake up with a whole new set of ticks tomorrow. It's kind of scary thinking about the fact that you never know what you're going to wake up to, but honestly, you get used to it. Some more fun facts. Tourette syndrome is not contagious, so by my breathing on you in this room and me being in the same room as you all, you now do not have Tourette syndrome. You may breathe a sigh of relief. And people with Tourette's have done nothing wrong to deserve this. It's just they're born with it, and the cause is unknown. So we don't know why people really get Tourette syndrome. Tourette syndrome is a neurobiological disorder, which means it's a chemical imbalance in the brain. So the brain releases chemicals to tell us to move or speak. Now everybody raise your right hand. The chemicals in your brain, I like to think of them as messengers. They go through your brain, into your arm, and tell the muscles and the bones and the cells to raise your hand. Now put it back down. Again, the chemical messengers are going through your brain, into your arm, and telling it to go back down. Now, people with Tourette's, their chemical messengers like to act a bit naughty. They like to act out a little bit. So whenever I roll my neck, or clench my teeth, or go like this, the chemical messengers in my brain are telling me to do that even if I don't want to. Scientists believe that Tourette syndrome is genetic, which means it's been inherited. So can anybody give me an example of what physical features you might have inherited from your ancestors? Let's get some of you from over here. You, back there. You, in the blue shirt. Oh, what'd you say? So blood vessels in your eyes? Yeah. That's something you can inherit. What else? Eye color, yes, that's a good one. Yeah. Personality isn't really something that you can inherit. It's more like a learned trait, but that's a good guess. What? Hair color, yeah, that's very good. One more? Pink shirt. Yeah. Skin color, yeah, that's also a good one. Well, just like all of those examples, Tourette syndrome is inherited. So people are born with it, and it's lifelong, which means that once you get it, you're in the club for life, basically. Now, do you guys remember my math meet story with my diagnosis? Sorry, when I take a deep breath, it helps my tics calm down. Well, you remember how I was really stressed and nervous and pumped up for that math meet, right? I was really excited. Well, stress, anxiety, excitement, fatigue, and illness can all be environmental factors. And environmental factors can worsen your tics. So like if you're really stressed out for a math test on Friday and you haven't studied at all, that can worsen your tics. And we like to think of stress and anxiety as bad things, but excitement and good things can also worsen your tics. Like you're super excited and anxious to go on that roller coaster at the theme park on Saturday. So now that you've learned the basics about Tourette syndrome, what do you think might be so bad about or difficult living with Tourette's? Yeah, you. Yeah, like what I'm doing right now? Yeah, he said that when you might be in the middle of a speech, you will have to tick, and that's a very good example. Yes. Yeah, a lot of kids that I know with Tourette's are bullied in school. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you can't control it. Well, I'm going to do an activity with you guys to kind of give you Tourette's for a little bit. I need 4 volunteers. Let's see. You. And you in the Seminole jersey. Blue shirt back there. Teal. Yeah, you. Come on. Yeah. And you. Yeah. Come on up. Alright, sit in these chairs right here. Yep. Okay. I'm going to give you, each of you, a pen and a piece of paper. Now, it's here. And before you give you your pieces of paper, do not start doodling on me now, okay? Is yours? Okay. Alright, so what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to write the Pledge of Allegiance. You guys know the Pledge of Allegiance, right? It doesn't worry about spelling. Don't worry about spelling, but I'm going to ask you to write it in 1 minute. So, it seems pretty easy, right? Well, there's always a catch. I'm going to give each of you 2 ticks. Alright, the first one is that every third word you have to erase and rewrite. So like, I pledge allegiance, you have to erase allegiance and rewrite it. To the flag, erase flag, and rewrite it. Get it? And the second one is that whenever I tap the microphone, like that, you have to tap the end of your pen to pen, like if you're writing like this, tap the end of your pen to the table. And I'm going to be acting as your teacher, so make sure you pay attention to what I'm saying. Ready? Go. All right, class. Good morning. Make sure you're writing the Pledge of Allegiance as fast as you can. Make sure you're tapping the end of your pencil whenever I tap the microphone. You don't have to click it, you can just tap it. Alright class, your homework assignment is pages 2 and 3 in the workbook and 1 and 2 in the textbook. Hurry up class, 25 seconds. $15. 5 seconds. Time's up. How far did you get? How far did you get?
United States.
Alright, how far did you get? Oh. How far did you get?
America.
How far did you get?
America.
See, none of them finished. So, what was it like having Tourette's?
Bad.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Bad.
Yeah, bad.
It made stuff harder.
Yeah, it made stuff harder. What did you think of Tourette's?
Very difficult.
Yeah, it was very difficult. Alright, you guys can have a seat now. Let's give them a round of applause for our volunteers. Now, as you can see, living life with Tourette syndrome, when faced with even simple tasks, with tics, they can become nearly impossible to complete. So now that you know how hard it is, how might you be able to help someone with Tourette's? Can I give you an example? Yes. Being their friend. Yeah, that's a good example. You in the back.
If they're trying to push a cart and they twitch and they stop, then you can help them push it.
Yeah. How about not teasing them? Yeah? You. say it's okay if they get stressed and they can't finish their work. You in the brown shirt. Yeah, you can help them do stuff in school. Alright. You guys know the differences make us special, right?
Yeah.
You have blonde hair, and you have glasses. So it really doesn't matter what your differences are. We should never make fun of someone for their differences, especially if it's something that they cannot control. People with Tourette's are just the same as all of you. This is a card, well, not this card, but a business card. It's the same words. That is given by the TSA, the Tourette Syndrome Association, to me and other people with Tourette's to help explain Tourette's and tics to people who might not understand. I'm going to read it to you. It's really like, it gets me emotional every time I read it, so bear with me if I start to tear up. Why do I act this way? Because I cannot control it. I have Tourette syndrome, a medical condition. It causes me to make loud sounds, have twitches, and say things that I don't mean. I can't stop it any more than you can stop a sneeze or a cough. I'm sorry if it bothers you. It bothers me more. Thank you. Now, this is a really cheesy question, I know, but I'm really interested. What have you learned? Pink shirt. Yeah, you learned about Tourette syndrome. You? Right, it's a medical condition and it cannot be fixed. You? Yeah, you shouldn't be bullied when you have Tourette syndrome. Yes. Yeah, how hard it is to control it. You way in the back.
It makes your life difficult.
Yeah, it makes your life difficult. You in the black shirt? Yeah, it's difficult to finish tasks. You? Well, not every day, but you do wake up with tics. You tics sometimes. Yeah. Yes? That I cannot control it, right? Nobody with Tourette can control their tics. Yes.
Scary.
Tourette syndrome cannot be spread.
Right, it's not contagious. Yeah? Yeah, it's very difficult to work on your homework and schoolwork if you have Tourette's. I'm going to wrap it up with a what have you learned. Do you guys have any questions for me? Yes.
Can you stop Tourette syndrome, like, when you get it, and you, I don't know how to say it. Yeah, there's a cure for it?
What?
Is there a cure for Tourette syndrome?
No, there is no known cure yet, but scientists are working on it right now. Yes. Yeah.
Can you do it in your sleep?
Yeah, I actually take it in my sleep, but I know a lot of people who do take it in their sleep, but not everybody does. Yes. Yeah, Tourette syndrome. It doesn't like start at any one particular time, but I know for me, my tics started acting up a lot when I was at that math meet, and that's when I was diagnosed. But you know, normally and the intensity of tics varies from person to person. Like I know a couple people who don't have it as bad as I do, and I know people who have it a lot worse than I do. Excuse me. But it doesn't ever start with one particular thing. Like if you're born with Tourette syndrome, you'll start exhibiting symptoms usually between the ages of 5 and 7, and then you'll be diagnosed if you are diagnosed, because a lot of people are misdiagnosed, which means they're diagnosed with something else. But then or they're not diagnosed at all. But if you, lost my train of thought, hold on. Yeah, so, but they always occur before the age of 18. All right, anyone else? Red shirt over there. Yeah, I have woken up with a new tic many times. Yes. More what of it? Some people do get more control after they reach adulthood, and like their tic symptoms kind of fade away. But like I said, Tourette syndrome is lifelong, so you never actually get rid of it. And honestly, I know for me, my Tourette's has actually gotten worse as I've gotten older. Pink shirt.
Have you ever gotten teased by other kids?
I've been really lucky to not have ever been teased, and I have really good friends who accept and support me. But I know a lot of kids who are teased because of their Tourette syndrome. Yes. I would throw my head back like this, and it was really hard, and then I would go like that, like a bajillion times a second. So it was kind of like, what am I doing, you know? Yes. Yeah, I mean, people are born with Tourette syndrome, but I don't think I know anybody who's ever experienced or showed symptoms before the age of like 5. Oh, maybe some kids that were younger, but I don't think anybody that I know anyway. I'm sure it's possible to exhibit symptoms when you're like a toddler, but I don't personally know anybody. Yes. What? So what some of the new tics that I've gotten over the years? See, I snap, and I kind of pop my finger like that. I blink my eye sometimes. Yes. Yeah, I do take in my sleep. Yeah.
What makes you feel more comfortable when you meet new people? Someone who acknowledges that they see that you have it, or for someone to ignore it and just treat you as it would, having a normal conversation with a new person?
That's a good question. I honestly, whenever I meet somebody new, I always tell them immediately, like, hey, this is what I have. You know, like if I'm ever on an airplane, I'll like make an announcement to like the people around me that, hey, this is what I have. You know, sorry if it bothers you, it bothers me more, etc. But honestly, I don't really know the answer to that question. I mean, I guess if for people to acknowledge it and just like kind of be patient with me, I think would be the best thing, because you know, if they just ignore it, like I think that could turn into a bad situation where, you know, they're just like talking over me or something, I guess. I don't really know how to explain it, but I think acknowledging me and being patient would be better in that situation, for me anyway. Last question. You. Scientists think that it's genetic, which means it's inherited, but honestly, the cause is really unknown. Like, we don't really know why people get Tourette syndrome. I mean, they're kind of narrowing it down to a couple genes in our DNA, but honestly, nobody really knows for sure. All right, it's important for me to spread awareness against bullying alongside awareness about Tourette's. You all follow the Mustang Way, right? Well, all people deserve respect, no matter what differences they have. I'm so glad to have talked to you guys, have been here to talk to you guys, and I'd like to donate this book to the library, the Oakhurst Library. It's about a girl named Carrie who is going into middle school and she has Tourette's, and it's just kind of about her life. So here you go, Miss Kennedy. It's called Quit It. It's gonna be in your library, so look for it. And thank you all. You guys were really great.
Wow, very, very very proud of you, Kristin. What a great job. Let's give her another round of applause. I asked Kristin how she came to be talking about this, and she was chosen 3 people in the state of Florida and got to go to Washington, D.C. and meet with all kinds of big political people, and she got trained, and this is her actual first time talking in front of an audience. So I think she did a fabulous job. Okay, and to our audience, you guys were really, really good. I'm very proud of you. So nice job. You definitely showed the Mustang way. Very good. All right. And I'm going to turn you back over to your teachers. Thank you for being so good.